Okay, you don't want to come out, you don't want to come out. I ain't gonna force the issue, bro. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna force the issue, dude. Whoa, shit. Greaser. Look at this. Look at this naughty hair today. Why do you do this, hair? Stay where you are. Let the pomade set. Come on, man. You don't want to. You don't need to have the. Jesus. Here in my dingy room with my pajamas on, adding more items to my wish list on Amazon. What's up, ball and crew? How it do? It do, man. Here we are again, alive and well, and it's the morning time, of course. And it's a show day, of course. So, you know, Paul's ego's got to warm up a little bit. Send to my home address a cornucopia of shit to distract me from my agoraphobia. I dream of... What is it? I dream of something and of a better life, but until that day, I'll beat up my wife. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna beat my wife. Doodle-doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna smash her fucking face. The Hulkster isn't in heaven, brother. The Hulkster's roasting in hell like the true piece of shit that he was. If you're ever having an angry rant, that little hair needs to come down. Yeah, he needs to go whoosh, flip down so I look madder. Pre-game? Kinda, yeah. I mean, you have to, a little bit. I'm not going to be smoking marijuanas today, though, as you guys may have heard through the grapevine. Mary Jane is, it doesn't really, it's not necessary for me right now. I mean, it's okay to have it. I had a few joints yesterday, you know, but as far as on the show, I kind of don't want to do it because I feel like I don't need to. That's a scary thought. I feel high enough. But until that day, I'll beat up my wife. Do 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 do. So is Ozzy a bad person now? No, we're not gonna go through you know how it is. When somebody croaks, everybody's gotta go through run their legacy through the grist of the mill, find anything they disagree with. I don't care, bro. I don't give a fuck. Morning, bows. This is like Ghostbusters. What do you got? Something strange in your neighborhood? Is that what's going on? You have something strange in your neighborhood. Ugh. Who you gonna call? The poltergeist. Is it something weird and it don't look good? Who you gonna call? The poltergeist. Burn up, burn up, burn up, burn up, burn up, burn up. I'm kind of afraid of them ghosts. Burn up, 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 burn up. Now you got your own theme song, I know. The third icon already died. My mom says things happen as on threes. The third icon already died. What's his name? Chuck Mangione died yesterday. Jazz icon Chuck Mangione. Flugelhorn player extraordinaire Chuck Mangione died yesterday as well. So there you go. You got your three. He's a fucking legend. You might not know who he is, but he's a fucking legend. There you go. You got your three. I did watch the new South Park episode, and I have to say I'm mad at the person. It was Abra over at the fucking Thunderdome that showed me it. He was like, he wasn't even talking to me. He was like, he was talking to somebody else. He was like, hey, sorry to interrupt, but you have to stop right now and watch South Park. And the person was like, well, stream it. He was like, God damn it. All right. I just finished it, but I'll watch it again. And I sat there and I watched it, and I was like, fuck. I have to start watching South Park again. God damn it. It's been like 10 years since I watched South Park, and now I have to start again? Like that episode though had me that episode I would have laughed harder if I wasn't so surprised they went full like scorched earth on Trump, and I was like, man, thank goodness somebody's doing it now. Like so I guess I have to start watching fucking South Park again because it looks like they might be getting good again. Oh my god, Trump's little tiny little pee-pee. His little fucking his little cocktail shrimp. It felt like an episode from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like it felt fresh and funny and like interesting and prescient in a way that like I just haven't felt that South Park has been. Your moderators make me think of Butters being moderator for Eric Cartman. Yeah. Hey guys, keep the noise down, okay? Yeah. That's right. Keep the fucking noise down. Trump will sue the world. I hope he does. I hope Trump files a lawsuit. It's just like it's like bait. That was lawsuit bait, and it's just like you're gonna sue us for depicting you with a tiny penis. Does that mean you have a tiny penis? Are you afraid that people now know you have a tiny penis? Etc. Etc. I've seen it. I've seen it. Don't say bad things in the chat. I'll be awful bad. I'll be awful bad, I tell you. We tried to blur out the penis, but they just said no and just put eyeballs on it. I know. I know, dude. I know. I know. Short with a big tip, if Stormy is to be believed. Short with a big tip. God, why do I know this? Why do all of us know these horrible, horrible things? We're not supposed to know these horrible things. I dream of Hollywood and of a better life, but oh boy. Isn't it great? Every day. Every day, all day. Every morning.
That's why we're pulling the trigger to not do it this month, not add to everyone else's.
Dios mío, man. Liam and me, we're gonna fuck you in the ass Saturday. We'll fuck you in the ass on Wednesday instead, baby. Paul Treegeist. trees. Poultrygeist.
You feel better now, do you?
You were missing. It was just the background. I stood up to get coffee and feed the dog. Will you buy a loud chirp machine that chirps every 30 minutes and place it next to the neighbor?
They don't do this every day.
It's been every day for the last week.
Yeah. But still not every day.
You're right. Do you own your home or rent? I rent. Did you watch Bambi the Reckoning yet? We're going Saturday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will see Bambi the Reckoning. Yep. Going tomorrow. I'm going to get some poutine and some drinks at my favorite little pub. I'm going to get a big plate of poutine and some drinks. Get some grease and get a little liquor in me. And then we're going. We're walking right across to the thing. And we're going to see it. Having to order a new wardrobe now, 60 pounds and 6 pant sizes down. Damn, ghoul. That's wild. I mean, that's a good reason to have to order new clothes.
There's definitely a point where it's like a belt ain't gonna cut it
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, yeah. Belt ain't gonna cut it, and all your shirts are so big they look like night shirts. You got to do it. That's awesome, though. Congrats. Should pick up a porch bed for Dinor while you're out tomorrow. I'm gonna order him a really good one.
Yeah, we're still gotta sit down and do our
we'll sit down. We'll sit down because we got a bunch of equipment that needs to be ordered for Cinema for Cynics stuff. And while we're ordering that, we're gonna get Dinor a little indoor-outdoor soft peepaw bed for out here. Are you a chill guy? I mean, ask the people in here; they'll tell you. I'm chill most of the time, I think. I like to think of myself as kind of a chill guy, but I also know that I'm not chill sometimes. Bit off topic, but what is your favorite gaming generation? When I was a kid, my favorite era of gaming was when I had a Sega Genesis with a Sega CD. The original one, like the OG Sega Genesis, and then you would sit it on top of this chunky Sega CD. And yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite, era of gaming. I feel like I had the most fun as a kid during that time, and it was right at the end of my video game obsession before I moved to another obsession, drugs and getting laid. So right before drugs and getting laid supplanted video games in my life as my most favoriteest thing, that was what I was playing. It was a Sega Genesis with the CD, Sega CD.
Shit, this one's fancy. Orthopedic and cooling.
We need it. Pretty much at my goal now. Probably just gotta tone muscles some. I'm 140 pounds, but I don't want to turn into a stick figure. Well, yeah. No, I mean, if you're at your goal, you're at your goal. That's awesome. Do you remember Atari? Yeah. I had a friend that had an Atari 2600 and also had a ColecoVision. And we would play those too. I had another friend that had a Vectrex, which was probably the coolest. Like, I wish I had a Vectrex now just because they're so cool. It's like a mock 3D polygonal gaming system where you could do these pseudo 3D asteroid type games. It was really neat. You should look up a Vectrex. They're really cool. Jungle Safari, yep. Well, not just Jungle Safari, Pitfall. I played Pitfall on the Atari. I played, of course, Defender on Atari. That was a big one. I've been gaming all my life, but I've been struggling to get invested in gaming session for the last few months. Yeah, I mean, it comes and goes with me. Like, I'll get real deep into a game for a little while, and it's all I want to play. And then sometimes it's just like, I don't really want to play anything. Who wants to play? I had Pitfall on my Game Boy. Yes, Pitfall. Pitfall was great. I think people yearn for simpler games. Well, there's still people making simpler games, I think. For sure. It's like the best time to be a gamer ever now because there's so many choices, so many little indie studios creating so many little types of game that it's hard to say that we're not living in the golden era right now. You mentioned this before, that your creative mind, you're a creative mind that you really likes to have other creative minds bounce off of you. You could really tell that was the truth with Goat versus Fish. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I love talking to people, man. I really do. I really enjoy talking to people, and I like the opportunity to talk to podcast people who are mic trained and comedy adjacent, because you know, I like to think I'm a funny guy sometimes, and so it was good. It was bad about getting into huge long games, but never finishing them, like Baldur's Gate. Yeah, me too. Me too. You ever rage with friends over a game? What game? Oh, fuck yeah. The two rage bait games for me and my teenager friends were GoldenEye on the N64, 4-player split screen GoldenEye. That was rage bait. And then A Tale of Swords and Souls, Eternally Retold, Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. A Tale of Swords and Souls, Eternally Retold. Soul Calibur. Couldn't play Odd Job. Odd Job was banned. Odd Job was banned amongst our friends because he was short, and you could get underneath just a center mass shot. So you could pick anybody but Odd Job. He was banned. And I played Voldo in Soul Calibur. They had a Soul Calibur with Yoda, I know. They did. They had one with Vader, Yoda. I think there was one where it came out on 3 different platforms, and each one got their own character. It's kind of cool. It was Yoda and Darth Vader, and then there was another one.
Can you be competitive with single-player games too? Like just whoever got the best score or whatever?
Not really. Like in the arcade days, yeah. Like, so if me and my friends were at an arcade and we were trying to play a machine to see who could get farther, who could get because that's basically what the score means, who got farthest. And so, you know, but it wasn't really a rivalry. It was more just trying, you know. The rivalries all happened at home, and huddled around with the multiplayer, yelling at each other. Yeah, I mean, in the arcades, the fighting games and stuff, you get a little saucy. But that was different. Like, the arcades were a different vibe than at home. You talked way more shit at home. And you got under your friends' skins way easier at home. Nobody wants to cry at the fucking arcade, you know? Nobody wants to be the little bitch that's whining about unfairness at the arcade, but you get them cloistered away in the living room on a Saturday night, And it's Crybaby Central, baby. Trust me, I know. I was the lead Crybaby. Mortal Kombat was great. I mean, we had a little pizza shop that was down the road from my house when I was a teenager. We used to just walk down there with a pocket full of quarters and, you know, plunk them in. Ever come to blows? There was one time we were trolling a friend of ours with this game, NHL Hits. It's like an arcade hockey game where, you know, it's like not supposed to be realistic. And for some reason, all of us had figured out how to play NHL Hits, and he could not get it. And so we were just dunking on him and shitting on him, and he was the guy in the group that liked hockey. That happened to me another time too with a soccer game.
Oh yeah.
I hate soccer games. I don't play them. And I was this was at a point in time when I was abusing opiates a little bit, and a friend of mine came over, and I had just popped a couple of Percocets or something, and so I was feeling real disassociated and floaty. And he came over, he was like, "Hey Paul, you want to play FIFA 05 or whatever it was, right?" And I was like, "Not really." And he was like, "No, come on, man, I'll bust your ass at it. You could fucking..." And I was like, "Okay." And he put he put on NHL, or not NHL Hits. He put on the fucking FIFA game, and I don't know what it was, man. I must have just been just high enough on opiates to where I just was like, I was in the zone, man. Like, it took me a little bit to figure out the controls, but once I did, I was scoring on him left and right, blocking all his shots, talking shit too. I didn't even notice it because I was all high. So I was like, "You're a fucking bitch. You're a loser at this fucking game. You're a punk ass little bitch, dude. I've never even played this game, and I'm waxing your fucking little bitch ass. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Oop, oop, oop. Rope-a-dope. Goal. That's how it works, bitch." I was doing shit like that, right? He just sat there quiet. And all of a sudden, like, I won a game. He spiked the controller, ran over to the fucking chair I was sitting in, got in my face, and he was like, "I'm gonna kick your motherfucking ass." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Dude, nah, it's cool. Don't do that." And he was like, "Fuck you." And he grabbed the game, left. We had to make up the next day.
It's like, don't tempt the dragon. Don't
He brought
challenge
it. That's
someone
what I
if you're not
said.
willing to lose.
But that group, that guy, his name was Sean. He was a great guy. And he lived with a guy named Derek. They were my best buddies in that little neighborhood. They were roommates. And they were not prepared for me. Like, I was a video game guy back then. And so they would bring over these games. Like, they got me into Dragon Ball Budokai. I wasn't even a big Dragon Ball fan at the time, and they were like, "Oh, we were playing Budokai, you got to get into it." So I picked the most fucking annoying character in Budokai at the time, which was the first Budokai. I picked Krillin. Getting your ass beat by Krillin feels bad. And I was destructo disking these bitches left and right. They're picking Vegeta, they're picking Frieza, they're picking all these big, powerful characters. And I'm whooping their asses with Krillin, left, right, and center. Same thing happened with Agent Under Fire. That was a 007 Agent Under Fire multiplayer split screen. I was unbeatable at that. So these guys really, like, they liked me. They liked chilling with me and smoking with me and stuff, but they hated playing games with me because I'm a mouth and I was good, you know? Kid Buu was I didn't play the second one. I played the first Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I was unstoppable at Agent Under Fire split screen multiplayer because of the gadgets. I figured out how to cheese all the gadgets. So the jump pack and the claw. The claw, I was unstoppable. It was like trying to destroy Spider-Man. Like, these guys would be running around with their guns, and I would be zipping around. I'd be up in the corner waiting for them, because you could just hold position with you could fire off the fucking thing, and then while it was in air, you could turn around and shoot, and you would start flying backwards. And these guys never got it. Like, so they would go like, "No grapple," and I'd be like, "Okay, jump packs then." They'd be like, "Okay." The jetpacks were the same thing, just a little less tricky. Like, you would move in one direction, And then you could, while you were floating through the air, you could.
You don't want big oak
Agent Under Fire was, I was absolutely, that's the game that I feel like I was the most flexy at maybe in my entire life. I was unbeatable. I actually had the guys that they were like so pissed at playing me. It was me and 3 other dudes. They were so pissed at playing me that they were like, we're not going to play if you're going to play. And I was like, well, how about this? 3v1. How about you guys don't shoot each other? I'll pick a really recognizable character skin thing so you guys will know it's me. And it's 3v1. Okay, yeah, fuck you then. We'll do that if that's what you want. It's like, okay, I beat him. 3v1. I was untouchable. Unstoppable. Quake, Unreal, GoldenEye Source. Damn, dude, that sounds like fun. I would actually probably be pretty good in those, like especially Quake and Unreal. I played so much Quake 3 Arena and so much Unreal Tournament. Like that, and I was in my 20s, you know, where you're locked in and you're like fucking whatever you call it. Your hand-eye coordination is quicker than it's ever gonna be in your life. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. I'm at my boring accounting job trying not to lose my mind. Well, that's okay, buddy. You got a pretty cool job if you can sit and listen to people ramble while you're doing it, you know. Ultima was badass, bro. I was really good at that game too. More good at like stealing and getting away with it than killing people, but I could kill people too, if that's what it came to. There should be more James Bond games. There will be. Don't worry, there's a new James Bond coming out, and there will be a shitty game packaged with it. There always is. You ever played Brutal Legend? Yeah, a little bit. I just couldn't get into the gameplay. It was a little too goofy for me, but I know people enjoyed it.
What's like the most disappointing movie-related video game you got?
There's so many. There are so fucking many, baby. The one that popped directly into my mind was they did a live-action Street Fighter movie, and then they made a Street Fighter game that looked more like Mortal Kombat, where it had like the real-looking characters, and that game was fucking trash. Absolutely unplayable garbage trash. Looked like shit, played like shit, wasn't anything like Street Fighter. The characters were goofy looking because the movie characters were goofy looking.
That just feels so dumb because they already have the template and formula.
Street Fighter was already huge. They had, everybody knew what it looked like, and they decided to release a game that looked and played nothing like Street Fighter, but call it Street Fighter. And it was just this horrifying ripoff of Mortal Kombat. E.T. on the Atari is the most legendary bad game of all time. There's a landfill in California that's literally just got like a mountain of these games.
Like, as soon as people started buying them and shitting on them, they just dumped the inventory they had.
Well, they thought it was going to be huge because E.T. was this huge kids movie / adult movie that, you know, and they thought, oh, it's a tie-in, it's a guaranteed fucking mass seller, and nobody bought it. So, yeah, that's the most legendary shit movie tie-in game ever. Big rigs over the road racing. That one is pretty bad. I remember that one being a meme, but it was bad, but kind of fun to play bad.
Was it glitchy or something?
Yes, like it had a thing, like it had a glitch in it where acceleration never stopped. So it wasn't like you reached a max speed. So if you just held down the accelerator and kept the car's momentum, if you could, it would just keep slowly but surely going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until it was like skibbity out. There was an obsession with innovation just for the sake of it back then. It's still a thing nowadays, but back when graphics tech was improving rapidly, people felt they needed to call. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, it was all like graphics at the expense of gameplay was a big thing when I was a kid, right? Because they were constantly like, they went from the Atari stuff, the very basic kind of line based, grid based stuff, and then they went to Nintendo, and you got your 8-bit sprites, right? Colorful and music and all of that, and then you go to your Super Nintendo, and you got your 16-bit sprites, and your Genesis has 16-bit sprites, right? And all this, and music is way better, right? And then they started playing around with this like realistic looking thing where you make sprites out of a picture. And that was Mortal Kombat, right? And Mortal Kombat was just like blew everybody's mind when it came out. It's absolutely fucking world-killing asteroid of a game. Like, it just changed the whole landscape.
What's the first Unity game you saw?
Unity. Fuck, I don't know. The Unity engine?
Yeah.
You got me. I know I played it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I guarantee I played it, but I cannot remember when the Unity engine... I was going to say Unreal, but that's the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
The Unity engine is...
It's like the one that everyone uses for shitty mobile game
Well,
simulations.
it's
now.
everything now, almost. Like, not just shitty mobile games.
But
It's just
like it's so accessible that like anyone can use it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see. First Unity engine game.
I can almost guarantee I played it unless it was just a real obscure title.
Goo Ball.
Nope. It's
2005.
It's an obscure title. Did not play that.
Alright, let's see.
So I can't even tell the difference in the last 5 years in visual quality of games now versus during the PS4. I can, but I'll tell you what it is, Pranav. What made me see that difference was HDR. When I got an HDR display for my computer and fired up Ghost of Tsushima maxed out, right? I was like, okay, all right, fair enough. The graphics have gotten way fucking better. Okay. But that's what it took. It took me seeing graphics, you know, on a really good rig, max settings through an HDR display, a really good high refresh rate HDR display.
Here's some other early Unity games. Sploom.
Nope.
Magical Flying Pink Pony game.
Nope.
Global Conflicts Palestine.
Nope.
So it was very experimental when it first came out, it seems.
Yeah, like all these engines are. It was a play box. It was a toy box for developers, and it took a while for people to figure out what the engine could do.
Yeah.
And so they started making it sounds like these games are very basic little side scroller platformers or very basic little strategy games or board games. But it took a while for people to realize what they could do with the Unity engine, probably. Like, what was the first, can you search what was the first big Unity engine game?
Let's see. First big Unity game.
I can't stand HDR. I love the 240 hertz on it, but not the HDR part. Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit nonplussed by it at first, but now that I've seen it in its full fucking glory, I'm just like, okay, well, this is different. You know, this is new, and this does look amazing. But I get it. It is a little overwhelming. You can fuck with your HDR, you know, and I did. I, like, dialed it in.
It seems like they waited until pretty recently before the big studios were using Unreal. So, like, Subnautica is Unreal. Pokemon Go is Unreal.
It's Unreal. So Unreal.
I mean, no,
Unity.
Sorry, yeah.
Subnautica is huge.
Yeah, and then The Forest, Cuphead.
Yeah. I've played all these. Yeah. Or I've heard of them at the least. I haven't played Cuphead yet, but.
It seems like it was very niche until it developed quite a bit.
Yeah. Dirty, dusty tea.
So yeah, it seems like the big studios don't try to use the most realistic sprites in Unity.
Oh, really? I see.
Because, yeah, like Among Us and Cuphead, that's not like using the semi-realistic human sprites.
No, I mean, you don't see those a lot anymore.
Besides, like, the shitty mobile game simulations and stuff.
Yep. Only monitors that support HDR 1000 or more are true HDR, and I'm not saying that to gatekeep. That's literally just how it is. Yeah. Well, I've got an Asus ROG or whatever, Asus ROG display with the max refresh rate and the true HDR and stuff, and that's what it takes. Like, if you play a game with all of that on, you really get to see like how perfect their lighting model has become. That's really what HDR does. This man has nailed the professor look. I am a professor. How did you know?
Man, professors must be hella weird if you're the professor look now.
Well, I'm old.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm old and I have a haircut.
And glasses.
And glasses.
Yeah.
So I'm a professor. That's how it works with these people. I have played Balatro. It's a fun game to play when I'm traveling. I don't play it ever when I'm not traveling, but it's a good one if you're just like in a hotel room and you can't sleep. Throw on the Balatro. You'll be asleep soon. Ray tracing and HDR are the future of gaming. Like, once you see, yeah. Global illumination, ray tracing, dot rays, all of those things that were like big deals back in the day are all now just perfected. And when you see them all used at max resolution through a true HDR monitor, you get an idea how far things have come. But you need that. You have to have that set up in order to see what they've done. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like everything's been chilling since PS4. Like, somebody said that earlier, and I know why they think that. They have not done the true HDR max res PC gaming shit where they get to see how far that shit's been pushed. I want to get a Steam Deck for overseas trips, but I have a feeling I would never use it even when I travel. I mean, I hardly ever use it, but when I travel, I do.
Yeah. But the reason you got it is you used it more before you upgraded your PC. So, like, if you have a really good PC and you're not someone that likes to just sit on the couch and game, there's less utility, but...
Yeah, for sure.
If you, like, are a console only, and then you switch to Steam Deck, it's going to be...
Yeah.
A big difference.
Yeah, Steam Deck is... I mean, it is really nice. And they have the HDR one now. I don't think it's true HDR. I think it's too small of a screen to be that, but it's really good.
You got the OLED one. That was your...
Yeah, the OLED.
upgrade.
Yeah, the OLED. Yeah, not the HDR, the OLED. Well, I guess that's the same thing. I have both. I have the original Steam Deck model and I have the OLED model, and I will tell you that the OLED model is really cool in terms of like visually, but the original is just as, I mean, it's just as good for gaming.
And you would use it more did you not have a good monitor like you do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I didn't have a good gaming, Pranav says, thanks, Amelia, you just saved me a good chunk of cash. No, I mean, that is true though.
Yeah.
I don't play it hardly ever here at the house. If we travel, it's in the bag. You know what I mean? And there's a good chance I'll whip it out and play a game. You know, so that's what I have it for.
There was a good several months where you were using the Steam Deck before you upgraded your PC.
Yeah, for sure. And if I didn't, like, I have such a dungeon down there. Like, if I didn't have that, where I've got my games and all that shit just right there where I work, like, if I didn't have that, I'd be using that all the time. Like, that would be better than any console that I could buy right now. If I wasn't a PC gamer, I would get that. Plus, the kids would bogart it, and I probably wouldn't even get to use it. Yeah. That is something you could think about, though. I bet your boy would like one of those. You know what I mean? It would definitely be a cool little flex thing for him to have, and I guarantee you he'd probably use it more than you and I would. You know how kids are with the games and the mobility of them and stuff. He'd want to whip that shit out and show it off, because they're pretty cool looking, man. They don't look like much of anything else. Right, you have a godly PC now. It's got water cooling. It's not even water cooling, it's gel cooled. So it's got a hydrostatic gel that you never have to change. And it cycles the gel through to cool things. True, but I'd want them to focus more on the history and cool stuff we are seeing versus a screen. Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying, you know, if you were, you know, looking for a present down the line or something for Kale because he got straight A's or whatever the fuck it is, right? Badass.
Yeah. I've just not been able to get into much significant gaming recently. Like, I've been doing a little bit of The Sims, been developing a little Edward and Jacob. I don't do it every day.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing my raid much anymore.
You're not Shadow Legends anymore?
No.
You're not a Shadow Legend anymore?
I still have it if I want to go back to it, but I'd have to join a new clan because I know I've been kicked by now for inactivity.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I've been in the same boat. I haven't really been able to find a game here in the last couple weeks that holds my attention. Like last night, I was playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor or whatever, just a little arcadey game. I was just playing that because it's just whatever. But yeah, I couldn't even get into that.
You saw me pull up GTA on the PS4, and I played that for like a couple hours, and then I just kind of...
You're like, eh.
I think it's just because I'm still kind of bad at it.
GTA?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. You're new to those types of games.
Yeah.
You know, you're more of an FPS player. And these third-person action games with driving mechanics and stuff, that's new to you. But you're not as bad as you think you are. I was watching you play, and you were weaving through traffic. You were making it work.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to find games to buy for my PS5 so it doesn't collect dust. I still can't get into it. I don't know, man. I don't have one of those, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, our PS4 would be useless for any new game at this point. It could barely handle the games we got, like, several years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it could barely handle, like, Persona 5 and, what was that one that you liked?
Oh, Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Yeah, it shit the bed with the game file being too big.
Yeah.
You tried playing remember that Final Fantasy, not the remake, but like an older Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just like you got like 20 FPS or something.
Yeah, it was garbage. It was really bad. I got it on sale for $350 a few years back. Did want to miss the deal? Sure, you know, that's a decent deal, especially that many years back. You have any interest in starting an army for 40K tabletop? Probably not. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's like, one of the things that really put me off of it was how expensive the Games Workshop models are. like I know people bitch about it, but when I actually went to my local gaming store and I was looking at it, and I was actually thinking one day, like we went one day and I was thinking, you know what? If I find something, maybe I'll get a little painter kit. I'll get myself a model. I'll get myself a brush and a little starter army painter kit, and I'll try it. And I went over there and I found a character that I thought would be cool to have, Belisarius Call, who is a Magos in the Adeptus Mechanicus, and it was one model, and I thought that'd be a cool one to fuck around with and paint on, and you know, if I fuck it up, I can just wash off the paint and try it again. And I looked at him, and it was $85 for a figurine that's like that tall and that big around, you know, $85. And I was like,
And like the kill team kits were like
yeah,
200 or something.
yeah, the kill team kits, like, so the ones where you get like a whole kill team of guys that you can paint them up, and that's what I was looking to get into, was kill team, maybe because it's a smaller scale game and a little easier to get into. And so I was like, I'll get into kill team. So I found the kill team I wanted, and I looked at it, and it was $220 for 6 models or 8 models or whatever it was in a box that's like this, right? You get all the sprues, you have to put it all together, glue it all together yourself. I was like, that's retarded. You know, if I wanted a 2,000 point army to come down there and play with, it would cost me $2,000, probably more.
$1 a point.
Yeah, $1 a point is a little wild.
Versus like, you know, a $60 video game that you can get like 40 or 50 hours out of it, and it's plug and play.
Yeah. I really like the lore of 40K, and I really like the way that a lot of the models look, and I think it would be cool to have an army and to play the actual game. But the expense of the hobby is just prohibitive. And it's just like, okay, on the other end of it, my option is buy an expensive fucking 3D printer, learn how to do that, and print my own models. And it's like, okay, well, that's okay, but it's still going to take me a couple grand to get that up and running. And so, like,
you just feel not committed enough to the hobby to make that kind of investment.
I'm afraid that, you know, what I think would be nice is if I get myself a really cheap miniature that's not Warhammer,
yeah,
and get myself a little cheap paintbrush set, and I fuck with it. And if I really enjoy the process of trying to make it look cool, maybe I think about getting a 3D printer so I can make my own little guys when I want. But that's where my headspace is completely out of tabletop Warhammer right now, just because I dithered with it for so many years, and then when I finally got to the point where, like, let's go down and look at a model and maybe get one, I found my Belisarius Call, and he was $85, and that's retarded. So I was like, well, fuck this. And like I just have the worst taste in Warhammer as well, because the armies that I'm interested in are literally the most expensive armies. They're horde armies, so you have to buy millions of little fucking, not millions, but, you know, dozens of little guys. So I like the Gene Stealer cults and the Mechanicus and the Astra Militarum. Those are the 3 that I like, and those are 3 horde armies, and they cost a lot of money. They're the most expensive armies to start, and those are the 3 I like. Isn't that fucked?
What army do you think would be most equivalent to the Cullens? Because you talked about Bella being a blank.
Oh, you know what? The Cullens would be kind of like the Cullens would be kind of like Imperial agents. The Inquisitors. Inquisitors are the ones that really are known to travel with blanks. Not that they, well, Inquisitors and the Sisters of Silence, but yeah, like the blanks are used by Inquisitors to protect them from psychic assault or demonic energies. That's like in the lore, that's where they're most used. So, and there's a new army in 40K, Imperial agents, where you can pull from other Imperial factions and have like an Inquisitor that runs, and he's, you know, making this army made up of other factions. So you've got a couple Space Marines, and you've got a couple of Astra Militarum tanks, and leading it all is this Inquisitor.
So you can do like kind of more mix and match with that.
Yeah, well, it's an expensive army because you've got to own parts of other armies to make it. So it's almost like an army that they made for longtime players of the game who already own multiple armies, because they can just take some of their models and make a new army with it.
But you can also upsell them on the newest Inquisitor or whatever.
Yeah. They released a whole new line of models because they got other stuff that they'll do. They use Ogren, which are these mutated humans that are real big. They carry these big shields that weigh as much as a car. So they've got their own little things where they'll have allies. They have assassins, that are specialized, like one model that can infiltrate and kill a big model and then get out, maybe. How you feel about 40K is what I'm dealing with for my BMW. I want to get new brakes for the car. Of course.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, it's analysis paralysis. No, it really is. I sat there for like 3 years and I was like, I want to pick this army. I want to pick that army. And then I finally decided, like, if I had to fucking gun to my head pick an army, it'd be Mechanicus. They're my favorite. Okay, let's do Mechanicus. You like the way the models look. You like the way they are. You're going to want Belisarius Call if you're a Mechanicus player. Let's get him $85 for a little resin, not even resin, plastic guy that's that tall and that big around at the base. Like, no. Check. Oh, yeah, I play Dark Tide. Yeah. I'm a 40K nerd.
There's videos on the channel of you guys playing Dark Tide together.
Yeah, no, I play Dark Tide.
Stevie on one time.
Dark Tide's fun. I like Dark Tide. I'm a 40K nerd. I own pretty much all the 40K games at this point that they've made. Yeah, Belisarius Call is like the leader of the mechanic. Well, not the leader, but he's like a big Magos in the Mechanicus, and you want him in your army, or you at least want to have the option to ally him in. And I thought it would be cool. Mechanicus are supposed to be kind of hard to paint because they're very intricate, and so I thought, okay, well, into the deep end we go. Let's grab this guy, maybe $20.
You know what they need to do? They need to make a 40K tabletop VR game.
They have
so
it.
So you can, like, paint in VR and, like, have little guys.
You're right. And they animate on the board when you move them. Instead of you moving them, they go...
Like you could have another person VR in, so you could, like, put little...
You're right. That would be smart. They have, like, a video game version of the tabletop game. Yeah. I own that.
But I think that would be like the most immersive in VR, where you literally do paint in the game.
That would be based. Yeah, you pick your dude and you paint, you grab him and you fill in his little things and you go to your palette and rinse your brush and do your thing. That would be based. They're probably working on some shit like that. Yeah, they had battle chess back in the day. Whereas like video game chess, and when you moved the guy, he would like, and when they killed each other, there would be a little animation. It was neat. I'm excited for the remaster of Dawn of War. Oh yeah, that Dawn of War was a good RTS in the Warhammer universe, so that'll be fun.
If they do make a VR Warhammer game, we should sue.
We should. Yeah, they stole our idea. Bastards. Bastardos. Yeah, you like every different piece that can kill another piece had a separate animation. So like the pawn killing the king, the pawn killing the knight killing the rook, right? And it was every one of them was a unique little fatality. It was cool. Battle chess was fun. So just something like that when you guys were scouting out venues for Dank D&D 2 VR tabletop. Yeah, you know, that's the thing is like one of the things that made Dank D&D so fun is we're all in the room together. You know what I mean? So we can like interact with each other and punch each other if we want, you know, like putting it all digital. I still could have been a really decent DM in that environment, but I have to admit, like, being able to look into their eyes while I posed a question to them was.
I think the mistake you guys made is you guys got too fancy with it. Because the first D&D people liked it because it was,
It looked like
gritty.
a homebrew
You guys
thing.
are sitting on a couch.
I mean, we did do a little set, but it was Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween decorations, and it was clearly in somebody's house.
Yeah.
And I think that we thought that people wanted to see a more professional version of that. And we just spent a bunch of money to get a professional version of that done. And it didn't do well. So I think that, that one probably would have worked better if we'd have just kept it a little more rudimentary. But the first one didn't do well either. So it's like one of those things. Whatever happened to the table? The table got destroyed in a hurricane. So what happened is we were building this amazing fucking studio. I wish I could show you guys this studio.
That, I feel like, would have done better.
That would have done better. Yeah. It would have, because it was epic. It was amazing. And it was in Scotty's attic space. Not attic, but like an upstairs room that was just for that, right? In Scotty's house. And then I can't remember which hurricane it was, but a hurricane put a tree through Scotty's window and ruined everything in that room.
But yeah, the reason why you didn't use it is because you had started it or getting close to finishing it right when COVID hit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We had just gotten it to where we were ready to start doing test shots in it, and then COVID hit, and we can't get together anymore.
By the time COVID was over, the hurricane came.
By the time COVID was over, the hurricane had come and destroyed that studio. I'll be honest with you, dude. It wasn't for me, but I would listen to you guys play. Yeah, no. That's the problem, right? It was like, I really did a whole lot of work on both of those to strip down what was ultimately an overly complex, overly arcane system in hopes of creating a homebrew system that was more about storytelling than gameplay so that people could follow it. And even doing that, it was, I think, too complex for general audience. They don't understand what it means to roll the dice and get this. They don't know give me a dexterity roll, give me a fucking perception roll. That's not that. I know what that means because I've been an RPG nerd forever.
Yeah, I think it was too nerdy for the ratio of nerds that you had in your audience, but it wasn't nerdy and autistic enough for like other fans of it to get into.
Because like you've got these big players in the space that are already doing these big epic campaigns, and they are gnat's ass autistic, right? They're looking to get these D&D veterans that know every little fucking detail about the game.
That following all the rules.
Right. And there are ones that are more technical. There are ones that are more role-playing, but the central thing that grabs them all is that they're all really well established, and they're not, like, they're really well established already, and they are playing the game at the highest level. They've got miniatures, they've got these designed 3D boards that they play on. We were playing homebrew, guys chilling at home getting stoned.
Yeah. And then homebrew in a studio.
That studio would have been something else. It was a long gaming table, guys. I was at the head of it in a throne, and I had all of these lighting. I had a lighting board, I had a sound board, right? And I had my DM shit. So lighting on the left, sound on the right, DM shit right in front of me. And you could see me at the head of the table. And then there were 6 spaces, right? 3 on one side of the table, 3 on the other, on the sides. And the camera was at the very end of the table, shooting down the end right at me so you could see everybody. Then we had camera racks. Each person had an individual camera. So a close-up camera that was straight on them from above a little bit, right? And I could swap these hot. So I had a camera swapper, boom, boom, boom. So it was like let me give you an idea what I could do. Let's say we're all sitting at the table. It's lit. You guys are watching the main shot that goes down the table. You can see everybody on the sides and me. And I go, TJ. I hit a button that makes a like a lightning sound, and the lights flicker like lightning. And then all of a sudden, boom, I do a camera switch and a spotlight on TJ. The whole table goes dark. So you can barely see them except TJ, who's just like blindingly in a spotlight, right? This would have been, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to lose this because it was together. We'd had it designed, we'd had it built, we'd bought all this stuff. It was heartbreaking, absolutely gut-wrenching to lose because it would have been so fucking cool. You know, is what it is. It's one of those things that, like, that would put a lot of people out of fucking business.
But, you know, it's not worth it at this point to rebuild something like that because the other iterations did so poorly.
Now I know, though.
Yeah.
Now I know the pitfalls of building a big set. Because that was the most complex thing we'd ever done. Mm-hmm. And that set was wild. The show did well and was still intact. Would it have changed your mind to move away from the fellas? Oh yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like everything that happens in my life happens as a result. It's causality. It's a chain of causal events, right? I hated it down in Louisiana, but if we had created this D&D property that blew up like we thought it could have, looked different, felt different, had a little bit more edgy, stonery aesthetic to it. We're not taking it as seriously as everybody, but damn, we look cool doing it. Got these cool lighting effects. We got these cool multi-camera setups, right? If we could have made something that was successful in that D&D content space, it would have given me all the impetus I needed to suck it up and stay in fucking Louisiana for a few more years. And then at that point, if we're all making a bunch of money, the guys didn't love it there either. So it's like we could have talked about, all right, where are we going to move this show? We need to get the fuck up out of Louisiana and get somewhere where there's some like professionals. So let's go to Vegas. Let's go to, you know, we'd actually talked about that. Candidly speaking, one of the plans that we had around that time was establish dank D&D in Scotty's house. If it blows up like we think it probably will or could, move the whole fucking operation to Vegas, where there's way more showmen, like show adjacent professionals. So like lighting, sound, costume design, set design people, right? That was one of the things that we were kicking around at that time.
At a certain point, you had to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my first time catching you live. This is surreal. Surreal? Surreal. Did you guys still have that sound guy then? Oh, Zandalar Cryptoducius Esquire? Yeah, I think so. Right around that time, we had Zandalar. Yeah. We had purchased, and it was part of that thing. We had purchased this giant analog sound core because we needed it for the dank D&D studio, and then we realized we can plug all our mics through this as long as we've got a sound person there to monitor it. And that's, so the only reason we had Zandalar Cryptoducius was because of dank D&D in a roundabout way. It's like we had this, we got it, we had him build us a portable sound rack that was plug and play. And so we could button it up, load it into a car, take it over to Scotty's, roll it up into the fucking studio, plug it in, and we're ready to go. And then when we're done with it, grab it. And the idea was to get 2 of these eventually, but they were expensive. We paid $2 or $3 grand, I think, for the whole rack. And it sounded great. You know what I mean? It sounded great, and it's exactly what we needed. We needed that analog interface so that the digital interface would work. The digital interface triggers the analog in the lighting and sound cue setup that we had. Oh no, if TJ lived in Vegas, I think it would ruin him. Well, that's TJ's cross to bear, man. Like if the show needed to be in Vegas, that's where we'd be, you know.
I'd say overall it worked out okay.
Everything works out in the end. You adapt. You know, it was real gut punch to lose that studio. A real gut punch when COVID happened. We're right on the cusp of starting to film that shit. Now we can't be in the same room. So, yeah.
You didn't want to take that risk because sure enough, the first big trip we did, when we thought COVID would cool down enough, we got sick as dogs.
We managed to dodge COVID because we were real careful, and we locked it down when we were told, and we wore masks when we were told, right? And then we fucking moved to Cali and waited a while even. It wasn't like we went right away. And then years after coming to Cali, we decided finally we're going to go visit your family. Fuck it. COVID's died down enough. And we went on a trip, and we were careful. You remember, it wasn't like we were totally flippant.
No, we weren't careful enough, like, on the road, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what it was. And we got back from that trip, and the next fucking day, you and I were sicker than shit. And we were sick for weeks. So, fuck. Do you think Kamala would have been a good president? No.
She would have been a nicer president.
Yeah, maybe she would have been a kinder president, but no. She wouldn't have been kinder either. She would have been a more palatable, liberal, aesthetic president for a lot of fucking libs. But the truth of the matter is she'd be fucking presiding over this burning world, just like Trump is.
She was not giving any strong signals of wanting to actually pull out of Israel.
No. Or any strong signals of a humane and modern border policy that allows for people to come here. It was the opposite. She was giving every signal that she was going to continue to give money to Israel to keep bombing Gaza, and every indication that she was going to militarize the border. So, yeah. Kamala's word salads were legendary. Yeah, she did whip up a really, really fresh and delightful word salad. You're right.
But it doesn't have the same captivating factor as Trump.
No, it was numbing.
Yeah.
It was like listening to Xanax speak. Yeah. That's what it was. Like I've been on benzos and stuff, and I've been around people who are on benzos, and benzos and alcohol is what I think was fueling Kamala Harris through that last thing. I think Papa Zanny, take a little tipple, now I'm ready. And that combination is wild because it makes you not aware that you're slurring. That's what Xanax. So the slurs that you're getting, but it also, the Xanax intensifies the alcohol. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the alcohol's hitting you, you're slurring even worse, but the Xanax makes you feel like you're not slurring. So you're just very much up in here. You're in this place right here. Do you know that people come together to make something good? Isn't that right? I know my shit.
Yeah. Whereas Trump, mostly sober, debatable on the amphetamines.
He's spiked.
Yeah.
So Trump is definitely, while he's up here, when he's at the rallies and he's sweating and he's juicing it up, he's on some fucking amphetamines for sure.
Do you think that'll change with his Venus insufficiency?
No. No, I don't. I think it's gonna get worse, and one day he's gonna stroke out on stage. It's gonna be a big news story. Many people talking about it.
Like, the fact they said anything is wild.
Well,
there's just no hiding it though with the suit pants and shit. He had muffin tops on his shoes.
I know. His ankles are drooping over his shoes. There's no way they could hide it no more. He's got the bruise on his hand, so he's clearly getting he's getting venous infusions of some type of drug, right? Because that bruise on his hand, that big patch, he could, like, they claimed that bruise on his hand is from him vigorously shaking hands all day. Look at that. That's not how that works. No, somebody would have to be punching you in the fucking hand when so he's got a giant bruise. So he's being venous infused with something probably daily, because you don't get those bruises unless you have an IV in for a long time, or you get multiple IVs put in the same spot over the same few days. I've had those bruises from surgical procedures, right? Where it's like you're, the whole day you've been intravenously and then you get home that next day and you got a big bruise, right? So he's clearly being infused with X, Y, or Z. He's clearly, the cankles were like so obvious, right? And his posture and gait and stuff, venous, and like having your legs all puffed up like that hurts. So he's probably developed a really strange gait to like walk on those big puffy ass fucked up legs. Old people do bruise like crazy as well. Absolutely. So,
yeah. And we might be more apt to think it's just venous insufficiency if they hadn't lied their asses off with this physical a few months prior.
Yeah. But I think that the fact that they had to, and they said the word chronic, like venous, they're trying to make it like venous insufficiency is just this normal thing that old people get. Yeah. And to an extent it is, but not to the extent he has. It's chronic venous insufficiency. Yeah. They don't talk about what it is. They just labeled it. What venous insufficiency means that not enough blood, his heart is having a hard time pushing enough blood in and out of his legs. And so his legs circulation is poor, and that's causing a buildup of lymphatic fluid in his legs.
They're getting them on like the tightest compression socks now.
But the compression socks, they just keep it from looking bad. Yeah. They don't fix the venous insufficiency. Yeah. Here's what becomes of the broken hearted. Oh yeah, I mean, that sort of thing is like the big worry, especially in older people, is blood clots. It is cardiovascular health, because typically you don't get that unless your ticker is working overtime. Your heart having a hard time pumping that fucking blood down in there and bringing blood back up leads to a buildup of these fluids that are typically carried in that blood. And gravity brings it all down to the bottom of your body, and it settles there like a pool. You get blood clots. You get deep vein thrombosis is what they call it, where a vein is pinched off and fucking, you get like a little heart attack or a stroke. He's turning into the people eater from Fury Road. You're right. That big fat dude with the big giant elephant feet. That's what he has. That's what that guy has. He's got lymphedema, which is when you have venous insufficiency in your legs for long enough due to obesity or cardiac problems, right? You get lymphedema, which is just like your body is trying to make more skin so it can contain more water without stretching that skin, but the skin gets thin and rips and tears, and you get sores. You get these rolls on the part of your body where you have the lymphedema. And I bet Trump's lower body looks like an elephant right now. I bet if we could troll him into taking his pants off and wearing a pair of shorts somewhere, I bet the lower part of his body looks like an elephant. His legs are like this. They're probably like rolly. and they go straight down to his ankle. And then he's got these tiny little feet that have a roll over the top of them. I'm not even kidding. You can see it when in that. That's why they had to admit to it, because his ankles were literally drooping down over his sock. It's gross. It's gross. I mean, it's whatever. Everybody kind of like old people go through it, but it's just like that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't have a 70-year-old in high office, because you know what exacerbates lymphedema? Stress.
Walking around
all the time, being up and down. Flying is horrible for lymphedema. It just exacerbates it to the nth degree because you're pressurizing it, right? And then unpressurizing it. So, you know how you like if you take a water bottle on a plane and you've got it open and you've got it pressurized, and then you take it on the plane and you open it when you land, it's like, well, there's no way for that to happen out of your legs. So you just get like fucking extra swelling when you land. It's really bad for you. And he's on a plane like 3-4 times a week, back and forth to Mar-a-Lago.
More than that, probably.
Yeah. It's like $1 million a week worth of flights and security to get Trump back and forth to Mar-a-Lago. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just set aside Trump. Let's just make Trump an old man that's in a really stressful job. If I were his family, no matter how much money and influence he was doing or how good I thought he was doing, and I saw that lymphedema on his legs, I would do everything in my power to convince him to step down and to get well so that he can have a few more years with his grandchildren, right? That would be, I think, most people's reaction to seeing their grandfather or their father working, pushing 80, and his fucking lymphedema is drooping down over his socks, and his posture is so bad that he's like so forward.
And he's forgetting shit.
He's like forgetting shit.
Who he appointed himself.
He's putting makeup on, and it looks weird because his grooming standards are not the same because he's old and he can't really tell. So he's got like these bleach white ears, but this dark brown fucking musk on his face. His lips look all weird because his hair's looking worse, right? All of that stuff means that, like, listen, when a person gets old, right, the people around them typically gather around that person so that they can have a little dignity in their age, right? And so they gather around that person and they make sure that person gets the right medications, and they make sure that person isn't overworking themselves or overtaxing themselves, and they go to help that person. And if that person needs more help than the family can provide, they get that person a place in like a home where they have nurses that can help them with this stuff, and where they have a routine that gets them up and gets them active but doesn't exacerbate their lymphedema, right? Or whatever it is, right? I'm just thinking, if Trump was my peepaw, set aside Trump, I would be on the phone every day to every family member going, we need to get grandpa out of there. It's going to kill him. He's got lymphedema. Have you seen his legs? Have you seen the way he's lost a step or two? He's not all there. He looks awful. Grandpa is going to die, and he's going to die in a really undignified way on stage in front of a bunch of people. Guys, we got to get him out of there. And I don't think that conversation is happening anywhere around Trump. I don't think there's a single person that cares enough about him to say that. And that's kind of sad. Setting aside Trump and what he is, I'm not saying I'm sad. It's just a sad situation, right? And it's darkly mirrors his father. Fred Trump, Donald Trump's dad, was demented and all fucked up and sick and wouldn't be told no. And so they set him up a fake office with fake papers. And they told him he was still working, but everybody else was doing the job. And that's kind of what's happened to Trump. Like, they're just kind of letting Trump talk, and everybody else is running the country. And it's pretty fucked up. It's kind of sad. It's a little sad if you ask me. But what do I know? What do I know? Eggs. It's wild. It's a wild fucking thing. If he would just get in a bathing suit and give us a 360 with no makeup on and his hair not done, this man would be he would look like a fucking escaped mental patient. I'm not even joking. Like the entire world would stop if this dude put on a bathing suit and dove in a pool and came up out of the pool. Think about that, dude. We had Barack Obama in a swimsuit. We had fucking George W. Bush in a swimsuit. We had Biden in a swimsuit. Think about if Donald J. Trump put on a pair of swim trunks, no makeup on, and jumped in a pool. The world would fucking stop spinning on its axis. Everybody would be shocked. It would be a nightmare of bulgy, lymphedema flesh, dirty butt crack, dirty fucking rolls all over his back, pimples and fucking hair, and who knows what else is back there. Liver spots, sagging everywhere. The hair would be all off his head to one side, and there'd be a big, nasty scar and a bald spot where he's had all those transplants. The world would stop. His face would be gaunt and pale and just like Venus and all liver spotty and old. The world would stop, dude. It's a clown show. He gets in drag every day. You get that? Trump, every time you see him, every time he appears in front of a camera, is in drag. What he really is, under all that fucking pancake makeup and costuming, is a lumpy, elephant-legged lymphedema patient who's on his last fucking legs. He's fat. He's old. He's fat. He's old. Sorry, ripping off a PPP bit. He's got lymphedema. He's liver spotted. The world would I shit you not. Dude, why, and ask MAGA about it. Why do we got fucking bathing suit pictures of the last 8 presidents except Trump? Why have we never seen Donald Trump in a fucking bathing suit as a president? He doesn't go in the water? He doesn't swim ever? He doesn't go to the beach? He doesn't go hiking and wear a pair of shorts? Let us see them fucking elephant trunks. I want to see them elephant legs. I am a man. I am not an animal. Let me see them elephant man legs, bro. Because I bet they are ghastly. Ghastly. He's on his 2020s Motley Crue arc. Well, so that's really what the libs should be doing right now. Bathing suit pics. Trump is afraid of getting in a bathing suit. Trump is afraid of water. Trump has never been seen as a president in a bathing suit. This is the first president to not be seen in a bathing suit since William F. or I don't know who it was. First president to not be seen in a bathing suit since Howard Taft. William Howard Taft. And even he was seen in a bathtub. So never mind, it goes back further. Why is Trump afraid to show off his legs? Why is Trump afraid to show off his supposedly healthy body? Why don't we ever get a shirtless pic of Trump? We've got shirtless pics of Biden. We've got shirtless pics of George W. Bush, Obama, George H.W. Bush, Clinton, etc., etc. I've never seen a shirtless pic of Don. Hashtag Don is afraid to take off his pants. Hashtag Don's legs look like an elephant. Hashtag this is what they should be doing. This is what they should be doing, because the man watches and listens to everything that they're saying, the media. And it would drive him absolutely nuts. He'd be suing people left and right rather than pull his pants off and show us his big, blubbery Venus deficiency legs, his big elephant legs. Oh, yeah. Him forcing his wife to kiss him. Yeah, I remember that. I remember them. I saw that video as well. I'd like to lose another 20 or 30 pounds.
Where's your coffee?
I don't know. Oh, it's right there. It's on the table behind you. Sorry. Oof. Batter up. Yeah, he wears pants on the golf course because he looks like he's got elephant trunk legs. And he's ashamed of his big, bulgy, fat ass. And his diaper, too. Diaper done. His legs are a mess. His legs are a mess. Believe me, I know legs.
And as we learned on the episode on Tuesday, Elon might be sporting a diaper too.
Yeah, because he's a K addict.
Ketamine bladder.
Ketamine bladder syndrome, chronic and irreversible.
Yeah.
Dribble and piss. Diapodon. Venus insufficiency, folks. Can you believe it? Venus insufficiency. We don't have Venus insufficiency, but Diapodon does. Diapodon has Venus insufficiency, folks.
Look at that ankle muffin top.
Check out the ankle muffin top, folks. Venus insufficiency, folks. That's what it looks like. It's not a pretty thing. It's not a pretty thing. It's not. It's not a pretty thing, but there it is, folks. There it is. Venus insufficiency, folks. Insufficiency. Insufficiency.
It almost looks like he's wearing the plastic shoes that are like pre-shined rather than shining his shoes.
Yeah, he's wearing like cheap shoes.
Yeah.
Probably because they're more stretchy around the ankle.
Yeah.
So that his Venus insufficiency. Cankles, folks. He's got the cankles. Trump's got the cankles, is what they're saying. I don't know. Many people are saying this. Many people saying Trump's got the cankles. Many people saying Venus insufficiency, folks. Venus insufficiency. The man's ankles are as big around as a tree trunk, folks. They're big around as a tree trunk. I don't like to make fun. I'm not making fun. I just think we should know. Cankles so big they cracked the screen on my wife's phones, folks. The cankles cracked her screen.
Look at how chicken leg he was a few years ago.
Here it was, folks. Here are Trump's ankles, and just a few years ago. Beautiful ankles. Never seen them. Never seen ankles like this before, folks. Guarantee you that. Finest ankles. Look at those ankles. And now, his ankles are a mess. He's got chronic Venus insufficiency, folks. Oh, yes, yeah. Terrible, terrible news. Terrible news. This is what the left should be doing.
Yeah, just imitating Trump, making fun of himself.
Yeah. Yeah, just run him through his own mill, man.
Yeah.
Talk about him like he talks about everybody else. Can you believe it? I can't believe how old he is, folks. How old can he get? This guy.
Demented Don.
Demented Don. This guy is still around. Doesn't know what he's doing. Legs like an elephant. Cankles, folks. He's got cankles. Got the big cankles, folks. He's afraid to take off his pants. First president not to appear in a bathing suit, folks. First president in American history. Can you believe that? They got pictures of George Washington in a bathing suit, for Christ's sakes. This guy won't get in a bathing suit, for Christ's sakes. He's afraid. Folks. It's terrible, terrible situation. Terrible things. What do you honestly think it would take for people to, like my parents, to wake up from the MAGA dream? Trump in a bathing suit, folks. That's what it's going to take. Trump in a bathing suit, and your parents would go, holy shit, this guy's not okay. He's not okay, folks. He's not okay.
Look at how healthy them Biden legs were.
Here you go. These are the Joe Biden legs. Look at those ankles, folks. Great ankles. Look at those knees. Great calves. Got definition in those calves. Why have we not seen Trump's Trump's legs, folks. I think we know the reason. It's chronic venous deficiency, folks. Chronic venous insufficiency, folks, is what it is. The doctors have said it. They had to admit it, folks, because the ankles were hanging over the shoes, folks. The ankles were hanging over the shoes. We all saw the pictures. The ankles were over the shoes. The fake news media is trying to hide the pictures of the ankle over the shoe, but we all saw the ankle drooping over the shoe. Chronic venous insufficiency. We just need like a really good Trump impersonator to just do
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Shane Gillis. Just get Shane Gillis to dress up like Trump and do press conference after press conference, pretending to be Trump, ripping on Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's fat. He's old, folks. Look at him. Look at him. I don't want to say it, folks. I'm no spring chicken myself, but he's old. Very old. Some people, they age gracefully. And he has not aged gracefully, folks. He's old.
Yeah, like Biden was brave enough to be shirtless.
Here we are. Joe Biden shirtless, folks. He didn't mind people taking a picture of his big floppy tits, folks, because you know what? For all his faults, Joe Biden is a man. Joe Biden is a man, folks. He's a man that's willing to put on his bathing trunks. And look, folks, look, I'm not saying you have to get in the pool. But you can't say that about Joe Biden. He was a man willing to show off his manly body. And Trump hides away his flabby body, folks. Hides it behind the suit. Hides it behind the shirt. And he keeps his pants on too, folks. And we all know why. We know why. We know why, folks. He's in a diaper. He's in a big diaper. And his legs have chronic insufficiencies, folks. Chronic insufficiencies.
Who else should they imitate in his administration? Maybe RFK?
No. Yeah, so if you actually, I know
They'll get someone that has the actual hole in their throat.
Oh, yeah. That has the little squawk box or whatever. Yeah. Looking at Donald Trump, I see chronic venous insufficiency in his legs. No, I think you just have to impersonate Trump and have him rip on Trump just like Trump would rip on Trump. Yeah. That's the way it's got to be. That's the key. That would drive him nuts. Drive him nuts, folks. Drive him out of his mind. Chronic. That's a terrible word. You never want to hear that word unless you're with Snoop Dogg. Chronic venous insufficiency, folks. Can you imagine it? Imagine you got that diagnosis. Imagine that diagnosis, folks. Chronic. Oh. If I hear the word chronic, it's because I'm smoking one with Dr. Dre. And he's warning me, hey, Diaper Don, this is the chronic. Cute, manly earrings. He's attracted to me, folks. He's attracted. Had to talk about my jewelry. Had to talk about my earrings. Folks, he wants to have sex with me. He's attracted. He's attracted to me. I'm not gay. I'm not a gay guy. No problem with the gays. We love the gays. Everyone loves the gays. But this man, he wants to have intercourse with me. He's talking about my wardrobe, folks. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. You know what would help with the venous insufficiency is a little massive dose of vitamin A.
Don't forget the colloidal silver.
Colloidal silver will make that his ankles go back above his shoes.
Might turn a little blue, but
Colloidal. He's fat, folks. He's ugly. He's falling apart. He's old. Chronic venous insufficiency, folks. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, folks. He's chronic. He's chronic. Like I said, you don't want to ever hear that word chronic from a doctor unless it's Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre hands you the chronic, it's okay. Any other doctor says chronic, oh boy. You better watch out, folks. You better watch out. He told me that we had Nazi fans of the playground, the playground, literally all within our government, messing everything up and trying to destroy everyone in every way possible. 10 years ago, I wouldn't buy it. If you'd told me in 1991 that 10 years from now the World Trade Center would be rubble and America would be at war with the Middle East and that Americans would be lining up to give away their civil liberties for safety, I would have said you were lying too. That's just the way it works. You're old enough now that you have 10 years of perspective. Or however many you've got, but I'm just saying, that's what happens when you get old. So you start to realize that the way things go, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because you're thinking of it from a longevity standpoint and a sustainability standpoint like a rational person would. And that's not what our leaders are thinking of it. They're treating it like it's a treasury, like this planet is a treasury to be looted dry. And they don't have a real plan what they're going to do once they've done that, but they're working 24/7 to do it, right? So you're thinking about, how do we keep the planet alive and these beautiful spaces alive, and how do we make it equitable for people on this planet so that everybody's got a home and stuff? And they're thinking, how do we strip mine this bitch? How do we fucking undermine every goddamn tree? How do we get every tree and turn it into logs? How do we get every fucking beautiful hillside and blast it down to the ground and suck all the mineral wealth out of it? How do we fucking destroy this place and make money? Money, 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 money. Right? Well, there you go. Now you know what the problem is. Cheers. That's what I'm saying, Blue Noble. You've got 10 years worth of fucking experience. You've got 10 years of political awareness now, and you're going, I wouldn't believe it. I've got 30. And I will tell you, you could go back to any era in my life politically, and if you would have told me X was going to happen in the next 10 years, I would have laughed in your face. That's the way it works, because it's a nonsensical system. Dino is a wino, folks. He's a whiny boy. Always whimpering. Always simpering and whimpering. Look, folks. We don't whimper. We don't simper. But Dinor is a whimpering, wimpy Dinor. Wimpy D. He's looking at me like, Wimpy D. Uh-oh.
what? Oh, we got a little man.
I think so, yeah. Well, it's okay, because we're going to give you a trim.
Yeah. I'll get those before I give him a bath. Oh.
Yeah. It was just a little one, but yeah. it will be a bigger one soon. But yeah, we're going to give him a little trim. You're going to bathe him today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bathe him today. I'm going to cut out the mats that I can find so they don't get tighter.
Yeah. You can use the clippers to get those mats. Makes it kind of easier.
Yeah.
Because, like if you can get him to hold still, just grab the mat and take the clippers and...
Yeah, it's not going to cut him.
Yeah, it won't cut him. So, but Yeah, and then once you're nice and clean, we're gonna give you a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you a little haircut for the rest of the summer. Take you
His
down a little closer.
pose.
And get your little pose. Get any mats between your little toesies. And we got to trim your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a spa day.
Yep.
Well, spa 2 days. Mama's going to bathe you today. Then we're going to clip you. Clip a snipper. Dinor does not entertain fools. It's true. Dinor got to be getting old. He's 10. 10 years old. He's a peepaw. Peepaw Dinor.
He's full of piss and vinegar. He acts like he's 5 or something.
I mean, I'm going to be dead honest with you because I've known Dinor a long time. He has noticeably slowed down.
Yeah.
He is not as piss and vinegar as he was when he was 5. I'm just being honest. But other people are shocked because he has so much residual piss and vinegar, because that is Dinor, is piss and vinegar, that they're shocked that he is as old as he is. But I'm being honest. Listen, I'd be a liar. I'd be a liar, folks. Dinor is old. Look at him. He's old. No. He's really healthy, though. He gets a clean bill of health when we take him in for his booster shots and his checkups. The doctors are always shocked because when they see how floofy he is, they think he's chonky, and then they find that he's actually the perfect weight. No. Dinor is, well, he's 9 going on 10. So he'll be 10 in, like, we've always counted his birthday in January. So somewhere between Christmas and New Year's, basically, is when Dinor was born. We don't have an exact date. We don't know if we're absolutely correct, plus or minus 2 weeks, either way, but that gives you an idea. So yeah, I got Dinor in 2015. I got Dinor in late 2015, early 2016. Right before the new year. I got Dinor. We had him for a few weeks, 2 weeks. He went to stay with Ashley's grandma, and we went to LA. And we were in Ohio for a while, and then we came back and scooped his little butt up, and we've had him ever since. I've had him ever since. I haven't been away from him that long ever since. But that little stayover with Ashley's grandma was where Dinor learned his pecking order place with cats, because grandma had an old kitty cat named Molly. And Molly was not mean, but Molly had a routine. Molly didn't like to be approached. And so
didn't want no puppy bullshit.
Nope. She was an old lady. She was winding down, and he was winding up. So he got put in his place there.
And then he got extra no Dexter put in his place when he lived with the guys.
Oh my God. Well, it just reinforced it for him. Poor little D. He just ends up at the bottom of every pecking order. Because if, anybody's a little bit shitty, Dinor just doesn't know how. He doesn't know how, He never learned to fight back. Like, he'll get, but he doesn't know he's squaring up. He just barks, and then if some dog came out, he wouldn't know what to do. Oh, you got sugar in your tank? I feel this is the same guy. He wants my asshole, folks. Commenting about how gay my earrings are. Now he's saying I got sugar in my tank, folks. Can you believe this? He wants to touch my butt. He wants to touch my butt. And he got an internet search history filled with gay porn, folks. Gay pornography as far as the eye can see. He's closeted, folks. And he's trying to take it out on me. I'm not closeted. Happily bisexual, folks. I'll fuck anything that moves, okay? But this guy's closeted, folks. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Late at night, his wife goes to bed. He's up. You know what he's doing, folks. I don't have to talk about it. We don't talk about these things. But let's just say it's men. Let's just say it's men that are involved, and we'll leave it there, folks. We'll leave it there. Because he's gay. He's gay, folks. Oh, I could tell too, folks. Trust me. You could tell. I could tell. Game recognized game is what they say. And he's gay. He's very gay. But listen, there's nothing wrong with being gay. But he's in the closet. He's trying to be mean to a fellow gay person, folks. And it's sad, 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 folks. Yeah, rock out. You look like a douchebag. Yeah, rock out, bro. Yeah, you just got fucked on, kid. Does somebody need to tell you? It's like some of these motherfuckers don't know. They think that because they have a paper bag over their face, they didn't just get fucked on. That's like, yeah, you did, friend. But keep talking about how gay I am. That's what straight people do. They hang around gay people and talk about how they want to suck their dicks. That's what I do. Go around getting dunked on like a fucking paper bag moron. Cool. Neat. I know that's what you do. Probably all you do, right? Probably the only like real human interaction you're gonna get today. It came from me, folks.
Get that nose.
Yeah.
Get that nose.
Anonymity is a crazy drug. Oh, yeah. It is wild. People will just, and they don't even get it. Like they think, like look at him, he's hanging. I got you in my palm. Watch this. This is gonna be awesome. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Watch this. You're gonna love this part. You ready? Start counting it down. He wants you in his palm, jerking. Oh boy, people are fucking wild, man. But so interesting, just in general. Human psychology is super interesting. That's why I'm a proponent. You know the Paul Zeegism, everything is psychology. You meet me and I'm introducing myself to you, you're probably going to hear that term out of me at some point. Everything is psychology. That's what I believe. Man, we do live in crazy times. People are fucking nuts. They always have been, though, Pranav. Don't let people convince you that, like, we're in uniquely crazy times. The truth of the matter is that human beings have always been insane. If we weren't, we wouldn't have made this fucking nonsensical thing we all live in. Right? Human beings have always been fucked up. That's the God's honest truth. It's just now there's a spotlight. Now there's cameras out there on everybody, so we're seeing them all, you know? But it's always been fucked up. Don't worry. Well, sorry this is off subject. I just got here. Need to tell you how much I appreciate your rant after that kidfluencer doc. I felt the same, but worse, as I have a young child. I don't have any kids, but I have a whole, like I told you guys, I'm like an Uncle 15X. So, and not that, you know, I would need to be to have that position. It was just gross. I couldn't keep watching those women run cover for themselves after they fed their children into that wood chipper and cashed all those checks. I just, you know what I mean? The lack of accountability is staggering. The lack of accountability of Netflix as one of these big giant media companies that uses children in their stuff, right? They're part of this like Hollywood network, and there's tons of kids and tons of Netflix documentaries, and those kids are being fed into the wood chipper, and Netflix is making this moralizing documentary. Well, it's got a bunch of moms, you know what I mean, that fed their children into the wood chipper knowingly, and now they're trying to like act like they're cloaked in some moral rectitude. And it just made me sick. That's what made me sick. It wasn't the subject matter. It was the people. It was the lack of accountability all the way up the chain, man. It's like Netflix asleep at the wheel. These parents clearly asleep at the wheel and looking to do nothing other than puff themselves up. Hollywood in general asleep at the wheel when it comes to children not being preyed on. Law enforcement in Los Angeles asleep at the wheel. State regulators asleep at the wheel. Federal legislators asleep at the wheel. Alphabet agencies, the FBI, whose job it is to handle things like this, completely and utterly asleep at the wheel, shrugging, going, I don't know what's going on. I guess there's a child rape factory somewhere, and people are willingly feeding their child into it for money. What? That doesn't sound like the FBI's job, really. Like, I think it's probably a YouTube thing, right? And then YouTube's going like, nah, I mean, we just host it and allow it and give money for it, but we don't, like, no, it's not really. What are we supposed to do? I mean, people are gonna watch. There's nothing wrong with a kid there being on YouTube, and the fact that 98% of the people watching these kids are adult male pedophiles. I mean, that's that's whatever. I mean, look, it's kind of weird, but seems like a state problem to me. I mean, like, the state's going like, well, like, yeah, that's very concerning that there are just multiple cases of child exploitation and child labor laws being violated and child rape and stuff. But that sounds like the federal, that sounds like something that needs federal blanket coverage, And then the federal's like, well, we don't see the problem. If there is a problem, really, it's a problem with Netflix. Netflix needs to get on top of itself when it makes these documentaries and admit culpability. And Netflix, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, but yeah, this is horrible. We made a whole documentary about how this is horrible, but nothing horrible has ever happened to a kid in a Netflix show, right? And we're not connected. Netflix isn't connected through those shows and movies that we make to people that are known offenders, right? And we're not feeding kids into the very wood chipper that we're trying to make a documentary about, right? So we don't get why we're culpable. Why is our name even coming up in this? It's fucked. And it's not just like, oh, this or that. This is children being sexually exploited and physically exploited and made into laborers in a brand new fucking child labor / sex market. And everybody at every level of the federal government, all the way down to the parents, is looking over their shoulder for somebody to blame. And it just made me sick. "13 years or older to post content, but 18 years or older to view it. Pedophilia is literally built into that website." You're not even kidding. No, I couldn't watch the absolute lack of accountability anymore. Did you guys see that? Fuck. I thought I had Viking powers. The thing that really, you guys will forgive me if I don't want to run through this whole fucking topic again, because it really is upsetting. It really is upsetting. Should I just let that little dangler happen? Should I let this dangler happen, or should I fix it? I'm asking the girls. I'm asking the ladies. Emily, Danny, known known quantity women. Is this dangler? Am I wasting my time? Should I just let the foinger happen? Does it look bad? Does it look douchey? I don't know what to do with it because my hair is very unruly. I'm going to get a haircut and that'll help probably next week. But in the meantime, do I need to worry about this foinger or not? Yeah, femboy, I'll take you too. Yeah, Pranab, you know, you're a straighty. Yeah, what about gay men? Okay, the dangler is okay. It's not, I'm not trying for it, you see. Well, this is what it's like pushed back, right? I'm just going to put it back here like that. But it wants to be there. Like as I move around, it will come back down. But this is where I would like lock it in, right? Something like that right there. It's a little unruly and it's a little long right now, but we're going to get it taken care of. But this is where it is up. And then I keep fixing it. And then, you know, I will do something and that happens. You see? So there's your before and after, right? And then this little foinger over here, but that's just, it's getting long up here, you know. This little foinger back here is bothering me too. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely due for a cut. I'm in for the I wanted to ask you guys a question. So I was gonna ask Nick about going like tighter shave through here, like maybe not all the way gone. I still want that hard part that he does with the straight razor, but I was thinking about going like tighter all the way around in the back and on the sides. Not too tight, not skin tight, but a little tighter than it was here. You know what I mean? Because like this has got some growth, so it was tighter, but I'm thinking a little tighter than he went last time around the sides. Blended down into the beard a little bit further, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to let Nick do his thing. That's all I'm saying. But that's going to be what I'm going to ask him. I'm going to say, would it look weird or bad with this hairstyle if we took this down a little shorter all the way around, right? Leave a little length up top. Maybe give me a trim up there.
I think I got his ear mat, so.
Oh, good. Good. Give him the zzz, zzz.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier, huh?
Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. Hi, I have an answer. Well, I've just started to notice in the last couple of days, well, 3 or 4 days, because I made an appointment 3 or 4 days ago. I was like, okay. Because like when I asked Nick when he gave me the cut, I was like, how often am I going to need to come back to you to get this crispy? And he was like, it depends on your hair, but you'll know. And I was like, okay. And now I know. I know what he means now. It's gotten to that point where it looks fine still. It doesn't look bad, but I need a line up. Sometimes a dangler gives the hairdo a little personality. That's true. All right, fair. I won't worry about it as much if I have a dangler, but it still does bug a little bit because I kind of like it when it's smooth up here. I like it when it's like high and tight. Predator, did you hear it? I forgot to tell you, he was on the king, a woodpecker. He's this big, red head, blue wings, black body, and he was like the size of a chicken. On the king, beak this long, I shit you not. Peck, 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 peck. And then as soon as I noticed him and we locked eyes, he went around the side of the tree where I couldn't see him. Mm-hmm. He was a son of a bitch. He's a big bird. I didn't know woodpeckers were huge. Nobody told me that.
Well, they're not all huge.
Well, he was huge. Yeah. Whatever species he is was like, I'm not even joking, he was chicken sized. Maybe not chicken fat, but chicken sized. Cheech did say in The Lion King, man, I hate dangling. What? Man, what? Cheech? Oh yeah, Cheech was in the fucking Lion. He had a bit part. Somebody's scrambling and scraping around up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's squirrel behavior happening out there in the yard, and Dinor is on alert today for whatever reason. Usually he doesn't give a shit, but I think he's gonna. Oh, it's Blackie. Yep. It's Blackie. It's Blackie.
He's probably doing a mating chase.
Yeah, there's a chase. The mating chase is on. Oh. No, never mind. That's just a red squirrel. I thought it was a baby black squirrel. I was like, no.
It takes them longer than that.
No, I was just saying maybe this is like an earlier season one. Maybe that's last year's baby black squirrel, because I don't know if this is Blackie's first year, and that squirrel does look dark.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing that little scramble around the tree trunk thing they do when they're just playing. Or mate and chase, yeah. Spreading their scent on the tree.
Yeah.
Because they have musk, don't they? So they spread musk. Their squirrel business. I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside. But thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights aren't all on upstairs. But we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. Bum, 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 bum. So prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shiny new era is tiptoeing nearer. Blah, 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 blah. Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I'm given my dues. An injustice deliciously square. Be prepared. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. I love that song. That's the best part of Lion King right there. Is Jeremy Irons still alive? I hope so. If not, rip Jeremy.
He's alive. He's 76, but he's alive.
Good. He's a real one. Remember Dead Ringers?
Yeah.
Isn't he fucking wonderful in that? That movie blew my mind. Yeah. I cannot believe I missed that movie. All those years. That movie is so good. I want to watch that movie again if we can find it. I feel like that movie deserves a second watch because we'll probably notice some shit.
He was Scar, and then he was also Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons can do the deep growl rumble that guys that have a baritone voice can do. I am Scar. That sort of thing.
Apparently he's a smoker, so that's where it's coming from.
Well, it is typically a smoker thing as well, yeah. But I've been able to do it since I was like 13.
Yeah.
I guess I have been a smoker since I was 13 too. Whoops. Not a cigarette smoker. I stayed off of those till 16, folks. But that's that deep baritone growl is marketable for a lot of voice work. because it's usable for a lot of different things. If you're a bestial character or just like an evil guy, being able to go down into that register is good. And then if you're a pirate, "Arr, matey, the sea be my home," and all that, right? So that register is really useful from a voice acting standpoint. Lets you kind of, also lets me do the deep rumble that makes my Trump kind of okay. All right, folks, here it is. There it is. Who cares? I'm sorry. I mean, whatever. Rip. I got to tell you, like, here's what I said when Hulk Hogan died. The Hulk Hogan that I loved when I was a kid died a long time ago. So, you know, this one isn't tough for me. You know, not that I'm happy or whatever. You don't celebrate it, but it's not like he was Kissinger or something. But yeah, I'm not too broken up about Hulk. The Hulkster that this little Hulkamaniac loved when he was knee-high to a grasshopper died many, many moons ago, man. A couple decades ago. So, it's all good. He died the day he came out with that fucking horrible mustache beard combo and started that NWO shit and did his villain arc, man. Because we never, ever in a million years as little kids thought we'd see the Hulkster turn bad. And he did Hollywood Hulk. And that just, like, for me as a kid, that's when I was done with him. So that's when Hulk died. Hulk died when Hollywood Hogan busted out onto the scene. Sucks that most of our idols are old and dying. I mean, you know, yeah, it's not great, but it's also just a natural thing that's gonna happen. I mean, it happened to our parents. They had to watch the Beatles die. I had to watch Kurt Cobain die in his prime. Blackie's over there now. He's got territory in this whole area. Like, he was in the neighbor's yard on one of them trees just now, spreading musk. He
wants to get all the ass that can be tapped.
Well, you remember we saw that little girl earlier that looked like she might have been pregnant.
Yeah.
She was kind of rotund, kind of thick in the back. Definitely a little girl. Had that, like, wispier shape to her little face. Petite. So, I think he's got probably, like, how much, what do you think in his little...
I think we've seen 3.
We've seen him tapping 3?
Yeah.
Are we sure that it's not him tapping 1 multiple times?
I don't think they normally do that, but maybe.
I mean, if he's got a territory here, which that's uncontested, we know that Blackie runs this bitch.
Yeah.
Because
we don't see it, because, like, sometimes there'll be little cuck squirrels that, like, watch the mating dance, and if they get distracted, they, like, sneak in.
We don't see any of that happening. He keeps that in check. So we know he runs the neighborhood, we just don't know to what extent. You want to see Trump go down for the Epstein files?
I don't know.
I wouldn't hold your breath for that. Cuck squirrels, yeah. Well, like the little adolescent squirrels, because, like, squirrels do a mating chase. It's like the guy will approach the girl will go off on a run, but it's more playful.
Yeah, they're not screaming.
No, they're not, like, trying to get away. It's just how they've developed, right? And the male will chase the girl up and down the tree, and then eventually the chase will end and they will mate. And sometimes adolescent males will watch this dance, and if the girl manages to slip away from the guy for long enough, the
he
cuck
gets distracted fighting another squirrel.
Yeah, the cuck squirrel will jump in and bang one out real quick. Anyway, I gotta go. We have a show tonight. A beautiful, wonderful Onion Nuggets. And I hope that you will be there. All of you wonderful smiling faces and Dinor lovers. I hope you will be there. I might hang out in my Discord for a little while before the show. Yeah, thank you, Otello. Otello being a true mensch, throwing up all the links. Subscribe, become a patron, and hopefully I'll see you guys tonight for another banger of an Onion Nuggets. I'm feeling good today, so that should carry over to the show. But that'll be in about
It starts at 2 hours.
2.5 hours. So it's 11:30 PST. It starts at 2 PST. Be there or be square, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.